This year's Combine has come to an end. We take a look at which prospects made the most of their time in Indy and how their performances might impact what Washington does in the draft. And speaking of the draft, Washington has had its fair share of success selecting on the defensive side of the ball as of late. We take a deeper look at some of this year's prospects on the field. And we put our former players to the test and see how well we know the Commanders when it comes to their Combine results and a fun game of Name That Commander. And welcome on in, Julie Donaldson, Fred Smoot, Santana, and look at that. The Combine is over, which means we can get a little bit more into the details of what Washington may want to do in the draft and who kind of stood out. But before we get to all that Combine talk, okay, the number one free agent quarterback off the market, Derek Carr, going to the Saints. What do you make, Fred?
I love it. I love it. We need an exodus, mass exodus of all the quarterbacks coming from the AFC to the NFC. I thought it was a great pick for the Saints.
I think it's pretty cool. I think Derek Carr deserves to be dealt to someone where he can have a chance to win. People have what they want to say about him, but he's been consistent for the most, and it's great to see him over here now in the NFC like Fred talked about.
Yeah, well, now everybody that says maybe Washington needs a veteran quarterback, go swing big. Well, we've kind of already squashed that quite a while ago. Head coach Ron Rivera. And even, Martin Mayhew, general manager, we're saying that, look, Sam Howell will have that chance to be QB1, but definitely is not going to be Derek Carr moving forward.
No doubt.
Well, the week of events at the Combine, they came to a close on Monday, wrapping up the final on-field drills for the prospects. Over 300 got the chance to impress NFL teams on both on and off the field in Indianapolis. Now, Washington, well, they have the 16th overall pick in this year's draft, which means they're going to have to do some good homework on plenty of prospects. Just never know how the chips may fall in front of you. Okay, guys, here's a look at some of the notable results from this year's Combine. Michigan cornerback DJ Turner with a 4.26 40 time, tied for the fourth fastest all time.
Ran back into time. He's right now living in 1983.
We've seen these guys run like this, though.
They just get faster.
Yeah.
Fellow Michigan teammate Mozzie Smith had one of the most reps on the bench press with an impressive 34.
He did 33 more than I did.
Tana, you got more than one, right?
I ain't do none at all. I didn't even attempt.
And Illinois safety Jartavius Martin had the highest vertical, reaching 44 inches. NBA, maybe?
He jumped and he still haven't came down yet.
All right. Time for our mission debrief, brought to you by the Washington Times. And now that this year's Combine is officially in the books, let's play a little game of fill in the blank and a little bit of why you're going with the name that you are selecting. And I want to start overall with the impression the most that you got from somebody at the draft is Santana.
Anthony Richardson. I think Anthony Richardson is one of those talents where we didn't see a lot of him, throughout his career. He played only one season, and he has high intangibles, but can that transform or translate over here into this league? And can he be a guy that someone gets and develop to be one of those premier quarterbacks?
I mean, that's the trick. If you take somebody in the first or second round these days, they're expected to play, even though they may benefit from sitting a little bit. There's just not as much patience these days.
But that's why, Julie, that's why instant coffee don't taste as good as regular.
Sometimes it's best to wait. We saw that with Pat Mahomes for sure. How about for you, a name?
Emmanuel Forbes, just a bulldog. He showed up 6'1". I think he got a 6'3" wingspan. He also ran a 4.35 40. Love to see him paired up with St. Juice, 2 6'1" corners with ball skills. I would love it.
Well, is that what you're saying at 16? Because if we look at what Washington has at that position, who would you say they need to draft is?
DeJuan Jones, tackle from Ohio State. They call him Thanos. He snaps his fingers and D linemen disappear. I want him, and people need to realize he's 6'8", 375 pounds. Feed that man.
Whew, that's tough. For me, it'd be somebody the best for our top three positions that we need to be filled. I think, when it comes to those draft picks, we got to pick basically someone that we actually, absolutely need instead of going for somebody who's just available.
Yep.
Okay, now separate from the draft, of course, we know there's some position groups where you benefit from having a veteran leader in the room, kind of someone who can, set the expectation of how you're going to perform, how you go about your daily business, and also, get those numbers that you need on the field. Who would that be for you in free agency?
Bobby Wagner, Super Bowl winner, leading tackler in the NFL right now. I want him because he can come and stabilize a good defense and turn it into a great defense. When he comes in and when he talks, everybody else has to listen. I think he's a guy that can make the difference.
And we know the linebacker room is an area that definitely needs a little attention this offseason.
Yeah, I second that. Wagner, Kendrick, you
yep.
know what I mean? Those guys, we need that position filled. You know, although we do have two guys that's capable, but we need that veteran leadership.
Yep.
Let me ask this one to you then, Fred.
Yep.
On the defensive side of the ball,
Ask me.
who will you be looking for that's already on the roster this offseason to kind of take that next step?
Mr. Chase Young, show them who you are. Show us what we got in you. I think Chase Young, this needs to be a year for him because don't forget, we have to wonder, we're going to pick up his fifth-year option. He needs to have a big year.
And about offensively for you, Santana?
I say Sam Howell. I say right now he already have everything in his hands. They basically saying, hey, we coming into the season with you being the guy that you could potentially be the starter. Yeah, we have to bring somebody in to compete for that job with you, but right now he has everything in his hands. So go out here, get these guys going off the field, away from everything. So when you come in here doing spring drills and OTAs, you rolling.
The Airwolf is my nickname. The Airwolf.
Okay, I like that. How about, look, the draft is all about everybody wants to get in. Who's going to be taken number one? It might be interesting this year because the Bears have gone out and said that they kind of like Justin Fields. So give me your number one name. Just
CJ Stroud. I just think he's going to go first. CJ Stroud.
Santana.
Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young.
There you go. We are leading up to the draft. Now, Washington finished the 2022 season a bit on a high note, defeating the Dallas Cowboys 26-6 in their Week 18 finale. Now, despite the win, the Commanders finished the regular season with an 8-1 record, leaving them outside the playoffs for the second straight year. Now, Washington heads into the offseason with plenty of questions left to be answered. Our radio broadcast team of London Fletcher and Bram Weinstein joined me to discuss one of the questions facing the Commanders this offseason. Well, when your team does not make it into the postseason, there's obviously a lot of positions and questions that we need to be answered in the offseason. So let's talk about what we'd say the biggest offseason need is. London.
I'm going to say offensive line. I know a lot of people will say the quarterback position. I don't think it's the quarterback. I think it's the offensive line. We have to shore that group up and then address the quarterback position. And I actually think Sam Howell will be fine.
I agree with you. I really think that the biggest issue that this team needs to deal with on the field is fortifying the offensive line. It became extremely vulnerable from the start for them. There were too many rotating pieces, and I know injuries happen, and you can't necessarily account for them. But in this case, last summer, the red flag was up with a number of injuries. They need to get younger and more athletic, I think, in the interior offensive line.
You look at the skill players. My goodness. They are not short at the running back position. They're not short in the wide receiver position. They just need to be able to have stability at that quarterback, which I do believe Sam Howell's going to have a really good chance to make a case for being QB number one in this offseason. But you've got to be able to protect him. Without any protection, forget it. They're not going to be able to do anything on offense. So address the offensive line, number one. Coming up next, Washington has made a run on defensive players early in the draft as of late. So we're going to hit the field in Indy to preview some potential prospects on the defensive side of the ball. Plus, the prospects have been training for months for this moment, and they make it look easy in the process. We put a fan to the test and see how his combine numbers compare to this year's class.
He's going to throw. Steps up and he's hit again. Second sack of the game. And this time it's Deron Payne. 3rd and 11 is a sack up the middle. There goes Deron Payne. Don Allen just bulldozed the rookie Kenyon Green for a sack. Tackled by John Allen, a sack at the 23-yard line. A sack for Allen.
And this past season, Washington finished the year with 43 sacks, which was good enough for 12th most in the NFL. Deron Payne led the Commanders with a career-high 11.5 sacks, which also tied franchise Ring of Honor legend Dave Butts for the franchise record for most sacks in a season by an interior lineman. Now, all this while former Defensive Rookie of the Year Chase Young missed 14 games coming back from injury. Now, Washington has had plenty of success on the defensive side of the ball in the draft as of late. Over the last 6 seasons, they have had 5 first-round draft picks defensively. Now, with them selecting 16th overall this year, you have to do your due diligence and research because you never really know how the chips in front of you may fall. So, for some players that they could potentially be targeting on the defensive side of the ball in this year's upcoming draft, let's go back to the Combine in Indy. This is the Drive to the Draft presented by Kia, movement that inspires.
Logan Paulsen here in the majestic Lucas Oil Stadium, getting ready to watch the linebackers. Now this year they've done something a little bit different. They've combined the linebackers and the edge rushers. So today they're going to kind of see some pass rush guys, some guys that play off the ball in the middle of the defense, different skill sets, but that's good for you Washington fans because you get to see guys that will fill needs for Washington. So they're warming up right now. Can't wait to see what they're going to bring today in the 40, 5, 10, 5, all those drills. So we're getting a little demo here of the hoop drill. So they're going to hit the hoop, pick the towel up, and then you want to just see, this is how you tell how bendy a guy is, how they work the inside, outside edges of their feet. And I've never seen a good pass rusher be bad at this drill. So this is, to me, is a very good indicator of just kind of like movement skills, how their hips are, how they can step outside their frame as a pass rusher. So, I mean, I'm really excited. I think there's a lot of people who are going to be very, very good at this drill. I like this drill a lot. This is kind of this kind of pass rush surrogate drill, kind of getting guys working the bags, working the corner, working the burst. All these guys should be pretty proficient at it, right? They all play defensive line, but as you watch, you'll see that certain guys are a little bit better at it, right? There's a kid from Pittsburgh, Habaku, a little bit tall, but again, that's kind of how he plays. You see that element of his game. Just when you're watching this drill, look at the bend, look how they attack the bag, look at the turn on that corner, right? You want to see guys who can sink their hips on that second bag. So after they throw that move on the first bag, how do they sink and then redirect out of there? Another thing about this drill that I think is important to note is like it's just kind of to test overall athleticism, kind of how they move, the fluidity with which they change direction. So it's more kind of, does it pass the eye test when they go, right? So even in this drill, there's a couple guys that didn't run their 40s that are going to do this drill, like Will McDonald, the fourth, who's probably the best natural pass rusher in the draft this year. He didn't do his 40, but he's going to run this drill here. So I think that all that stuff is important to kind of keep in mind. All right, Nolan Smith from Georgia is up. Really undersized guy, probably 6'3", 235, 240-ish type pounds, but he has so much athleticism, former 5-star recruit at Georgia, excellent pass rush ability. Missed some games this year due to injury, but gosh, when you watch the film in those pass rushing situations, he does flash dramatically. So again, we've mentioned inside-outside flexibility. Here is a guy that I think brings a little bit of kind of that traditional outside pass rusher, and again, like if you're trying to add pass rush juice, maybe this guy allows you to bump Chase Young inside a 3 technique on certain downs. Here we go. Good horizontal projection. Come on. He's out. Kind of like to see him pop up there. Good. Not quite as explosive off the start as I thought he would be, but like the race, and again, the film there is outstanding. Lucas Van Ness is the Superman in this year's draft. Didn't play a whole lot at Iowa. There he goes. He should run really fast here. He's a big man. He's 6'5", 280 pounds with an 8-pack. Plays with tremendous power and physicality. So he's a guy that I'm sure he ran well right there. Will probably be gone when Washington picks, even at 16, looking to be a top 10 pick. But I wanted to show him to you, a guy, again, can play defensive tackle, play edge, just overwhelms offensive linemen with his strength. But I think he's also shown here that he's a tremendous athlete as well. So that just concluded Group 2 of the defensive line/linebackers, and there were some really outstanding performances. Nolan Smith tricked everybody, including myself, running a 4.4. He just looked so smooth while he was running. Outstanding performance. Definitely made himself a lot of money. And probably the surprise of the day, the guy that was the most impressive was the Northwestern defensive end, Adamatawada Adebore. He did an outstanding job. Remember, 6'2", 280 pounds with 34-inch arms. He is going to be an outstanding football player in the NFL. Love the film on both those guys. Glad that they were able to do that and just put an outstanding performance here on the 40-yard dash.
Game day details are delivered by Paisanos. Order online at paisanospizza.com. Now, the 2023 NFL Draft will take place in Kansas City, Missouri during the final weekend of April. The first round will get underway on Thursday, April 27th at 8 p.m. Washington's first pick is scheduled for 16th overall. Rounds 2 and 3 will take place on Friday the 28th, and then the last 4 rounds wrap up on Saturday. Make sure to visit commanders.com and follow us on social media for all the latest news regarding the draft. And still to come, the Commanders have had some memorable moments in the Combine in the past. We see how well friends Santana know our guys in a quick game of Name That Commander. Plus, get ahead of the game and secure your luxury suite for the 2023 season. Experience the excitement of a Commanders game from the climate-controlled comfort and privacy of a luxury suite. Enjoy gourmet catering options, VIP parking, and more for you and your guests. Learn more and place your sweet deposit for the 2023 season at commanders.com/sweets. Drive to the Draft is presented by Kia, movement that inspires. Now, each year, the futures of NFL prospects is decided at the NFL Combine. A fraction of a second could be the difference between a player being selected in the first round or maybe the reason they fall to day 2 in the draft. Now, as an outsider, it's kind of hard to get a grasp on what the prospects are going through. So to help better explain the player's experience, we send it back to the Combine in Indianapolis.
Logan Paulsen here with Liam Griffin, the lone Commanders fan we're able to find here in Indianapolis. We're out here at the Fan Experience, man. This place is popping off. Really excited to put Liam through some drills, coach him up. You excited, Liam?
I'm super excited. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, man. He's got the Heineke jersey on. We're fired up. All right, Liam, we're at the most important event at the Combine, the 40-yard dash. Let's just talk you through some stuff real quick about the start. Want to be back off the line, put my right foot front. Here we go. My left toe behind it. Get a staggered stance, shoulder width apart. Get my hand down on the line. Load up my hips. Bring those hips up nice and high. And let's get out of here. Come on, let's go. Oh, there we go. That's what we're talking about. Excellent. What was that? 5'2"? Oh, gosh, almost goes down. Excellent job. Very coachable. Like that time for him. All right, Liam, ready for the vertical jump?
I'm ready.
This young man here is going to explain how he sets it up on the athlete.
Okay, good. Stand right here. Raise your right hand.
All right, raise it up nice and tall.
I'm going to measure this up real quick. Tie it in. Now, the rest of you. Now, listen. That red one right there, that's 30 inches. The thing in the top, 37 and a half if you can get to it. I had 5 people do it today.
All right, here we go. Liam, come on. Liam.
All right, here we go.
Yep, here we go. Come on, Liam. Lee. All right. What we got?
Come on, it's 26.
26 inches. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's go. Hey, all right. Big hip drive, nice and tall. Smack. Don't try to tap. Smack it. Here we go. Get under there. Here we go. Big hip drive. Come on. Yes! That's what I'm talking about, Liam. 28 inches. 29. There we go. That's explosive. That's better than I did. Nice job, buddy. All right, Liam, we're at the bench press. What's your best bench so far?
I think I could put up 225.
How many times you got?
Probably for one.
All right, so let's, for one? All right, well, we got 135 here for you. Should be able to hit a good number there. Let's make sure our feet are nice planted in the ground. Our elbows are nice and tight. Nice big chest, right? Let's see what you got.
Let's get it pumping.
All right, Liam, come on. All right, let me get you lift off here. Ready? It's pretty heavy. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There we go. Yep, it's tough. Come on. All right. Oh, all right. Hey, a little bit more aggressive this next one. You got it. You got more than that. You got more. Come on, let's get back under here. Come on, you got it. I believe in you. Here we go, Liam. Ready? Come on, you got it. Let's go. Yeah, there we go. There we go. You got 500. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes, I love it. How you feeling?
Feeling great.
All right, you just broke the combine record. Excellent job, Liam. Liam, fantastic job, man. I think you took yourself from an undrafted free agent maybe to that 3rd round range. What position are you playing?
I don't know, maybe quarterback.
You got a cannon. We haven't thrown today, but I'm sure it's outstanding. Great job, buddy. Thanks so much. Now let's go check out these guys inside.
Let's do it.
Oh, man.
Having a lot of fun out at the Combine. So we ran we're going to say an unofficial 5-2.
Yeah.
And say unofficial. I'm not sure Logan was really clocking it. Like, both of you drafted because of your speed. But if you ran a 40 today, what would it be, Fred?
I would probably run a 4.12.
Yeah.
And that don't exist.
I'm like that, 4 slow.
It doesn't matter now. We want to make sure there's no
Hey.
injuries. But back in your time,
Yeah.
we knew you had the speed out
I
there.
wouldn't eat grass.
I want to play a little game here of seeing how well you can name that commander in their times.
All right.
So if it comes to the 40-yard dash, who had the faster time between Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson?
Terry McLaurin.
Terry.
Undoubtedly.
Yep.
Undoubtedly.
Yep.
Okay, that is true because Terry ran a 4.35, Jahan a 4.43. Both are fast. We like them both out there.
Yeah.
They can stretch the field and challenge the defenses. Who had more reps on the bench press, Santana? Would it be John Allen or Duron Payne?
Pain.
Pain. House of Pain.
Yeah, he did. Because Allen had a shoulder injury too, right?
Coming out of the draft,
Yeah,
he had
he-
it, and that's
he's
why I
a-
knew he was going to fall to
And I
us.
don't know no number. I just knew he had a shoulder injury. That's why I said
I
pain.
think he did 27 times.
21. Allen had 21. Payne had 27.
Perfect, thank
So
you.
Payne had 27. Who led the Commanders in tackles this season?
Pain.
Led in tackles?
In tackle, I was.
Oh no, you right.
Jamie
I jumped the gun.
Yeah.
I believe that was a linebacker, right?
Yeah.
Jamie Davis.
Jamin Davis, 104 combined tackles. Second was Derek Forrest with 88. Cameron Curl third with 83. Who scored the most touchdowns for the Commanders this season?
Terry McLaurin.
No.
Hello?
Jahan
Dotson.
Yeah.
The most touchdowns. All right, let's go with it.
It is. It's Jahan Dotson. He had 7. Terry Curtis and AG each had 5 for the second most. And remember, Jahan Dotson missed like 5 games. Imagine he would have been leading all rookies. Washington holds the 16th overall pick in this year's draft. When was the last time that they held that 16th overall pick?
Last year.
Yeah, when they picked John Allen, I think.
No, they had the 16th.
Whenever they selected 16th
They picked Jahan last year with 16. So
Yeah,
they moved down to
yeah.
16.
I checked it. They selected 16th overall last year. It was Jahan. They had Kerrigan 16th overall in 2011. So both Ron Rivera and you, Fred, were second-round draft picks. Who was selected higher?
Ron Rivera. No? Out of Cal?
He was 44th.
And I was
in 1988, you were 45th in 2001.
Out of Cal.
By
He's out of
one. We got you by one.
Yeah.
Santana, Terry McLaurin just finished his 4th season with
mustache.
Washington. Oh my goodness. Resulted in his first trip to the Pro
Boy,
Bowl.
you look at your age right there, boy. You old.
But he was fast, right? Which was higher, the number of receiving yards in your 4th season in Washington or Terry's receiving yards this year?
Who? Mine or his?
Yeah, in your 4th season.
Oh, mine. You say, hold on, my 4th season with
yeah,
Washington?
4th season.
Here.
Here? Just
Oh,
4th season.
nah, I don't think my 4th season
You had
here.
more?
I don't think I had more
4th
receiving
season.
yards.
Your 4th season overall.
Yeah.
It
Overall?
was Terry.
It was Terry.
It was Terry, yeah.
But not by
Nah,
much.
I was thinking you
Not
saying
by
my
much.
first season in Washington.
Not by much.
Nah,
It's
you
less
know,
than 100.
haven't
You're
been
both
beaten
close.
yet.
There you go. Name your commander, and that's how that one goes. All right, folks, thanks for joining us on this edition of Command Center. We'll see you again next time.
That mustache I had.
Boy.